Welcome to Reddit's Blue Pill Red Pill, where we go over Reddit stories and predict the outcome of the stories. Please listen and play along by typing in your choices into the comments. Today we have a story about a friend criticizing and insulting her friend's husband for being a bad father. All right, let's get on to the story.
My best friend and her husband have 4 kids, 8 female, 6 female, 4 female, and 3 female. My friend's husband is a great dad when someone is there to help. When he's alone with all 4 kids, he gets overwhelmed and freezes.
The OP already has a clear opinion about her friend's husband, writing that he freezes when he is the sole adult taking care of his kids. They do have 4 young girls, so I think many people would be overwhelmed taking care of so many kids by themselves, so it may be a bit unfair to fault the father due to this. Plus, we don't have more background information. Is her friend a stay-at-home mom while the father works? This would explain why the mother has a better handle of the kids since she spends much more time with them. Plus, as the OP states, the father is great under most situations. If you think the OP is being too harsh to her friend's husband, type Q1 blue in the comments. If you agree with the assertion so far, type Q1 red.
A few weeks ago, my friend was sick, so I brought over dinner. We thought it was just a bad cold. When we were eating, my friend went to the bathroom and the 3-year-old followed her. The 3-year-old came running out saying her mom was throwing up. All of the kids ran to the bathroom, followed by me and my friend's husband. I helped her clean up while her husband went to get her nausea medicine and a thermometer.
Considering that the OP doesn't have the best perception of her friend's husband, I wonder if she's implying that this is the husband's fault for not looking after her wife better. He did spring to action to check on his wife and then get her some medicine, so his actions seem good right now. Perhaps the OP is implying that the father should have been more attentive to his wife and not let her get to this point. But the wife isn't a child either, and she could have taken care of herself if she felt she was not being attended to enough, especially with 4 little girls in the house. Do you think the OP faults the husband for letting her friend get this bad? If so, type Q2 red in the comments. If not, then type Q2 blue.
When he came back, I asked him to get the kids out of the bathroom so she could have some space. After we got the kids out, I took her temp and it came back at almost 104, so I went out to get her some Tylenol and water. I get back and the kids are all in the bathroom again because their dad can't keep them away from the bathroom for 2 minutes.
The OP's friend seems to be very sick and her kids must have been worried. They are too young to understand that their presence in this situation will only divert attention away from their mother. While all they want is to check on her, while it's true that it was best for the husband to try to keep the kids away, that is easier said than done. I don't think it's right to pass judgment on someone's parenting based just on whether they can keep 4 young girls away. If you think the OP is right to criticize the husband for not keeping the kids away, type Q3 blue in the comments. If you think the father tried his best but keeping 4 kids away would be challenging for anyone, type Q3 red.
I give her the Tylenol and water and she almost immediately starts to vomit again, then passes out. Her husband just stood there while I was trying to get her into a recovery position, get the kids away from her, and call 911. I managed to get all of them out of the bathroom, and her husband is coming back every 20 seconds asking if I can call their nanny to help with the kids, if I can go to the hospital with her, did I start the dishwasher, or does he need to hand wash the youngest sippy cup, etc.
Now here I do see how it could be frustrating for the OP for the husband to keep coming back over and over and not taking initiative, especially when there is a medical emergency taking place. There's definitely room to criticize the husband's lack of knowledge on these matters, but he seems to be trying. If he didn't care, he wouldn't be asking all these questions in the first place. And him asking for the nanny's phone number and for the OP to help his wife in the hospital is him acknowledging he needs help and trying to procure the help he and his wife needs. It is not weak to ask for help sometimes. If you believe the husband was being useless here, type Q4 red in the comments. If you believe he was doing his best and should be cut some slack, type Q4 blue.
When my friend regained consciousness, he even started asking her how to do bedtime for the little ones. Did she wash their pajamas yet? Did they get screen time that day? or can he put on a movie? I told him his wife couldn't hold his hand right now and he just had to figure it out. He told me he's not usually the one that deals with this and he's trying his best. Then goes back to asking what stories the kids like. What setting does he put the sound machine on and how do they like their milk? I just snapped and told him to figure it out on his own and called him a useless piece of shit.
Whoa, that was uncalled for. Or was it? It seems the husband was in a state of shock and his lack of awareness could be chalked up to that, but he definitely did crash and burn. And while it is fair to criticize how the husband was unable to fill the mother's shoes when needed, would the OP had the same expectation of her friend if the roles were reversed? I wonder. If the husband had a major accident and couldn't work and provide for the family anymore, and the wife had to go find work, would the OP call her friend a useless piece of shit if she couldn't step up to the moment and provide just as well as the husband does? I think not. Or is this example comparing apples and oranges? Or maybe the husband got what he deserved from the OP for being so incompetent during this situation. If you think the OP was in the wrong to call the husband a piece of shit, type Q5 blue into the comments. If you think he got what he deserved, then type Q5 red.
It's been nearly a month and he still acts all pissy when I stop by the house. My friend says he'll get over it, but my boyfriend thinks I was unnecessarily rude and he was trying his best. Am I the a-hole for calling him a useless piece of shit when he couldn't handle his own kids while his wife was experiencing a medical emergency?
I think it's understandable why the husband is still holding a grudge against the OP. The wife is trying to mend the relationship and the OP's boyfriend is siding with the husband. What is your final decision on this story? If you agree with what the OP called the husband, type Q6 red. If you think the OP was in the wrong to call him that, type Q6 blue. There are some additional details that were not in the initial story. After you hear them, would your opinion have changed? I know mine has.
Not the a-hole. He wasn't managing the kids while you were helping your friend, and he wasn't the one attending to his gravely sick wife. He did nothing, and that is the very definition of useless. Emergencies happen. Next time it could be one of the kids. If he can't handle emergencies, he needs to do whatever self-work is needed to fix it immediately. Explain to your friend precisely how useless he was when she was unconscious on the floor. What if you hadn't been there?
He knows how useless he is. It's not the first time and it won't be the last. If I wasn't there, I hope the 8-year-old would be able to call 911.
Not the a-hole. Both him and her needed that wake-up call, even if they don't see it that way. It's so jarring reading stories like this after having a pretty A-plus dad my childhood. She knows that he's incompetent. She married him to piss off her dad, and she had 4 kids with him because she wanted a family. She has their nanny come any time that she's not home because she knows her husband isn't capable of taking care of their kids.
Now let's listen to a few comments.
Not the a-hole. Wife unconscious, he's asking about bedtime stories and sippy cups. Sometimes harsh truth is needed.
He didn't freeze. Pretty sure he's never had to be a parent before. I'm 100% certain he'd call himself a great dad without ever having looked after the children, without relying on his partner to do most of the mental, emotional, and physical work.
OP, does that make you feel confident in how your boyfriend would handle it if you were having a crisis?
Not the a-hole. The commenters who keep excusing this guy by saying people react differently in crises, no one's crisis response is a barrage of inane questions that, frankly, he should know the answer to and is responsible for knowing about his own family.
Honestly, I think you were too kind. Would he have even called 911 if you weren't there, or just shaken her awake to ask her why she was slacking off? This dude is not a good dad. He's cosplaying while his wife works herself to serious illness. I bet she hasn't been given any help to recover either. I would be making it my life mission to make this dude miserable and get my friend ready for a divorce. She's already a single mom. Removing him would be a net drop in care work because she has to parent him as well.
I also think it's really important for OP to make note of her own boyfriend's response to this behavior. Any normal person can see that this is crazy, but OP's boyfriend simply said he was trying his best and thought there was nothing wrong with how he handled things. So, to rephrase, OP's boyfriend considers trying his best to be hounding his wife with questions and sucking at caring for his own children while she's having a medical crisis.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching all the way to the end and participating. Please consider liking and subscribing to watch future videos. Goodbye.